Good day, students. I hope that you have understood the previous chapters. Today, I am starting with a new chapter of literature, that is a gift of chappals. In this, you will be learning about a child behavior, that how the child will be showing their gesture and giving their chappals to a beggar and a music teacher. So let me begin with the chapter now. So this is a chapter based on you can say a few characters are there. Raku, Mani was there, Ravi was there, and Meena also. So this is all goes around the friends only, that how they found that the teacher's chappal is very used one, and they can see the print as well. So imprint was there on the chappal of music teacher. So how they were doing it, so let us start. A smiling Rakku Mani threw open the door. Ravi and Meena rushed out, and Ravi pulled Mirdu into the house. Wait, let me take off my slippers, protested Mirdu. She set them out near a pair of large black ones. Those were grey actually with the dust. You could see the clear mark of every toe on the front of part of the slipper. The marks for the big toes were long and scrawny. Now they are saying that there was a chappal which has been kept near the Mirdu's slipper, and you can see the toes mark were there on that slipper. That means that was a two used chappal. So Mirdu didn't have much time to wonder about whose slippers were they, because Ravi dragged her to the backyard behind a thick bitterberry bush. These inside a torn football lined with sacking and filled with sand, lay a very small kitten, lapping up milk from a coconut half shelf. Now that was Mirdu was not wondering about that whose slippers were there. So because Ravi was actually dragging, he was dragging the Mirdu that on the backyard, because he wanted to show that a cat was there, the cat kitten is there, and he wanted to show that how she is licking up the milk, the coconut milk. Fine, in the coconut shell the milk was there. So we found him outside the gate this morning. He was mewing and mewing, poor thing, said Meena. It's a secret. Amma says party will leave for our Paddu Mama's house if she knows we have a cat. Now she is now they were actually discussing that if your grandmother will come to know, she will be leaving that kitten to the mama's house. Fine, so that's why they were hiding that kitten. So people are always telling us to be kind to animals, but when we are they scream. Oh, don't bring that dirty creature here, said Ravi. Do you know how hard it is just to get a little milk from the kitchen? Party saw me with a glass in my hand just now. I told her I am hungry. I want to drink it, but the way she looked at me, I had to drink most of it through her of the scent. Then she wanted the tumbler back. Party, I'll wash it myself. Why should I put you to trouble? I told her. I had to run and pour the milk into the coconut shell, and then run back and wash the tumbler and put it back before she got really suspicious. Now we have to think of some other way to feed Mahendra. Yes, the name of the kitten is Mahendra. Now he is saying that Ravi was very he didn't want to tell to the grandmother. So he was just stealing the milk for the kitten. So what he did, he has actually taken a milk in a glass, and yes, he was actually the grandmother was very was asking it that why you want a milk. So he said that I am hungry, so I want the milk. So to that she will not come to know that why he needs it. So he has drank maximum much of the milk. Fine. So he actually washed that milk tumbler as well, so that the grandmother will not get any that the things are something is going on wrong. Now Mahendra. This little kitten name is Mahendra. Mirdu was impressed it was a real name, not just a cute little cat name. Actually, his full name is Mahendra Verma, Pallava, Pune. MP Pune for short if you like. He is a fine breed of cat. Just look at his fur. Like a lion's mane. And you know, what the emblem of the ancient Pallava kings was? Don't you? He looked expectantly as at Mirdu. Mirdu giggled. Now they are saying that the name was actually very nice and they were impressed because this looks as a real name. And they are saying that the cat was actually look like that it is belong to a Pallava king's emblem. Emblem hota, there is a design and picture that represent a country. Fine, like you can see a emblem of our India that we have a tiger, the lions are being made. Fine. So think I am joking? Well, just wait. I'll show you sometime. It's clear you don't know a thing about history. Haven't you been to Mahabalipuram? Have you? He said mysteriously. Well, when our class went to Mahabalipuram, I saw a statue of his. Tatas, 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 tatas. So, fact is, Mahendra here has descended from that very same ancient cat, a close relative, scientifically speaking, of none other than the lion. The Pallava lion, emblem of Pallava's dynasty, Ravi went on walking around the bitterberry bush, waving a twig up and down, his eyes sparkling. This cat is a descendant of none other than Mahabalipuram, Rishi cat. If I may just remind you, they worship cats in ancient Egypt. They are saying that in ancient Egypt, the cats were worshipped, and they are saying that they belong to the descendant. Descendant is a thing, a person or someone related to the person who lived before him or her, like father. Fine. So, well, one of the descendant that of the cat goddess was a stowaway in one of the Pallava ships, and his descendant was the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat, whose descendant is Ravi. Flourish his twig at Mahabalipuram. MP Pune here. Whoop whoop ick. He shrieked, very pleased with himself. So now they were actually been playing like that particular cat is belonging to a king family. So they are playing that way. Mahendra looked up, alarmed. He has just been sharpening his claws on the edge of the coconut shell. But worse than Ravi awful whoop eek was a screech from that window. What a weird sound. If Mirdu startled, MP Punai was frightened out of wits. So here, standing on end, he bounced it and scurried down towards a bamboo tray of the chilies that had been set out to dry. Trying hide beneath, it tipped a few chilies himself. Meow! He howled miserably. Now the sound was actually being coming. That was a very weird sound, and they were saying that the cat will get afraid of it. So we should be good enough. Now you can see the sound that the meow sound is being done. The screeching went on and went on. What that noise? Said Mirdu. Mirdu was asking what is this sound is all about. That Lali learning to play the voice, grunted Ravi. She will never learn a thing. Mirdu crept up to the window. Lali, sitting a little distance away, awkward holding her violin and bowstring, her elbows jutting out and her eyes glazed at the concentration in front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony finger of the music master. He had an almost her head with a fringe and oiled black hair fadily around his ears and an old-fashioned tuft. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck. Now it has been explanation going about the music teacher. Actually, now the Lali is the one of the friends. She was learning a music, and the music teacher was sitting in front of her. So now she was actually been watching to the window instead of concentrating on the violin. So now what has been there? A large foot stuck out from beneath and his gold bordered vesty edge, and he was beating time on the floor with a scrawny big toe. He played a few notes. He was actually playing a few notes and showing to the Lali. Lali stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hand. What a difference. The music masters not seemed to float up and settle the perfect. So now she actually been holding a violin, but she doesn't know how to hold it. So now the music teacher helped the Lali that how she has to hold it. The visible tracks of the melody. It was like the wheel of a train fitting smoothly into the rails and whizzing along, as Ravi said. Mirdu stared at that huge hand moving effortlessly up the violin stem, making lovely music. Squawk! There was Lali derailing again. Amma came a wall from the gate. Amma, oh, Ravi sent the beggar away. Now what has been going on? Now the master was playing a violin and it was looking very melodiously the sound was coming out. And now the mama also came and Ravi was actually being angered and he said the beggar to go away because cried his mother from his back veranda where she was chatting with Tapi. Now the mother was chatting with Tapi and she was saying that Ravi, just get the beggar away. He has been coming here every day for the past week and it's time he found another house to beg from. Pati explained to Tapi. Now Mirdu and Meena followed Ravi out. The beggar was already in the garden, making himself quite at home. Go away, said Ravi sternly. My party says it's time you found another house to beg from. Now actually the beggar came for the something and now Ravi was saying that you just go away because my grandmother has said that you have to go away, you have to find some other house for begging. The beggar opened his eyes very wide and gazed at each of the children one by one. He then raised his eyes. Amma, Amma, oh, sad his wail might be, but it certainly wasn't feeble. That means he was actually calling the name of Amma. It was the boy was very weak. The beggar was very weak. The voice is actually they were actually calling the Amma. Ravi, tell him there's nothing left in the kitchen. Called Rakumani and he is not to come again. Tell him that. He sounded fed up. Ravi didn't have to repeat it all to the beggar. What his mother said had been easy for them all to hear. They're under the neem tree. The beggar sat up and sighed. I will go, he said wearily. Only let me have a rest under this tree. The sun is so hot, the tar had melted on the road, my feet are already blistered. He stretched out his feet to show large pink peeling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. Now they are saying that I don't want anything, I will go because it's too hot. I just wanted to stay under beneath this tree. And my you can say blisters, you can say you had there, he's having a blisters on the feet. Blisters can you say in the chala, right? So he's having so many blisters on the feet. Are you getting it? So he was actually a bare feet and it's too hot, the road is also hot. Fine, I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals. Mirdu whispered to Meena and Ravi, have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? Now he's asking that if you have a chappal with you, we'll give it to that beggar. I don't know, said Ravi. Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I would have given them to him. His feet were larger than Mirdu's and Meena's. He needs something on his feet. Meena said, her big eyes filling. It's not fair. So now, shh, said Ravi. I am thinking about it, blubbering. It's not fair, isn't going to help. In 2 minutes, he'll be frying his feet on that road. What needs is a pair of chappal. So where do we get them? Come, let's search the house. He pushed Mirdu and Meena into the house. Now they were actually searching for the chappal so that they can give those chappal to that particular boy, the beggar. Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mirdu's eyes fell on the old-looking chappal. She had noticed when she arrived Ravi. She whispered to him, whose chappal are those? Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby-looking but sturdy old slippers. He beamed and nodded. These are just the right size, he said, picking them up. Mirdu and Meena followed him nervously and back into the garden. So they have taken a chappal. The one pair of chappal was kept over there. So they thought that this will be fit to the beggar's feet. Here, said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the slipper in front of the old man. Wear these and don't come back. The beggar stared at the slippers, hurriedly flung his towel on his shoulder, pushed his feet into them and left muttering a blessing to the children. In a minute, he has vanished around the corner of the street. Now they have given the chappal. See how lovely children are. They have given the chappal, and whatever the amma, the party has already said, that is also been conveyed to the beggar, and beggar has left the corner, and they are not able to see the beggar now. The music master came out of the house and took an unappreciative look at the three of them sitting quietly under the tree, playing marbles. Then he searched for his chappals in the veranda where he had put them. Now, the he actually that chapel which they have given to the beggar, that is a chapel of music teacher, and now he is searching for the chapel and he is not able to find that chapel. Lali, he called after a few moments. She hurried up to him. Have you seen my chapel, my dear? I remember having kept them here. Ravi, Mirdu, Meena silently watched Lali and the music master search every corner of the veranda. He scurried around, looking over the railing and crouching near the flower pots to look between them. Brand new they were. I went all the way to Mount Road to buy them. He went on saying they cost a whole month's fees. Now he was actually saying that was a brand new chapel, and they're saying that it is costly. My whole fees will be go in that chapel. So please find my chapel. Soon Lali went in to tell her mother. Rakumani appeared, looking harassed, a party following her. Where could they be? It's really quite upsetting to think someone might have stolen them. So many vendors come to the door. Worried party. Party was saying that it might be stolen by someone because so many people are crossing from the road, from that door. So who has stolen? So she is not aware of. Rakumani caught sight of Ravi, Mirdu and Meena sitting under the tree. Have you children? She began, and then seeing them were curiously quiet, went on more slowly, seen anyone lurking around the veranda. A sharp V-shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. Another straight tighten above the appeared in place of her usually pleasant mouth. Rakumani was angry, thought Mirdu with a shiver. She wouldn't be so upset if she knew about the poor beggar with sores on his feet. She tried to be herself. Now they're saying that if we'll talk to her, she will be not so harsh with us because we have given that chapel to the beggar and he was having a sore on his feet. Now, taking a deep breath, and she cried, Rakumani, there was a beggar here. Poor Teni had such boils on his feet. So said Rakumani grimly, turning Ravi. You gave the music master chapel to the old beggar who turns up here? Children these days, groaned Party. Now they are saying that now she is actually shocked. She is saying that you have given the chapel of music teacher to the poor beggar. Amma, didn't you tell me about Karma? Gave away everything he had, even his earrings. He was so kind and generous. Silly, snapped Rakumani. Karna did give away other people's thing. He or gave away his own, but my chappal wouldn't have fitted beggar's feet. Ravi rushed brashly. Now they just actually been aggressively, he just ran out. He was saying that we have beggar, and you always say that we have to help the poor. The Karna is always been generous and kind. Fine. So and Ravi answered Raku, very angry now. She hurried indoors and brought out Gopu Mama's hardly worn new chappal. This should fit you. Sir, please put this on. I am so sorry my son has been very naughty. The music teacher master's eyes lit up. He put them on, trying not to look too happy. Well, I suppose these will have to do. These days children have no respect for elders. What to do? Rakimani eyes flashed. She stood stiff and straight by the front door. It was clear she wanted him to leave quickly. Now the party, the Amma has given the slipper of Gopu Mamas to that music teacher, and he was happy because that was a new slippers, and it was too old. You can it was already explained that the toes were there. You can see the toes prints were there on the chappal, but he doesn't want to show it that he was happy. Who doesn't want to show? Music teacher. When he had clattered off in the new chapel, she said, Mirdu, come in and have some tiffin. Honestly, how do you think of such things? Thank God your Gopu Mama doesn't wear his chappals to work. As she walked towards the kitchen with Mirdu and Meena, she suddenly began to laugh. Began to laugh. But he is always in a hurry. Throw off his shoes and socks and get in his chapel. As soon as he comes home, what's your mama going to say this evening when I tell him that I gave his chapel to the music master? Now she has actually been happy as well, and she was confused that what she will say to the Gopu mama, that we have given your chapel to a music teacher. So this was a chapter all about. So now in the message you are getting, happiness does not result from what we get, but from what we give. Actually, May, whatever you wanted, that is not an happiness. Whatever you give to someone, that is an happiness. So you learn something, that how children were so innocent and behaved very nicely and given that chappal to the beggar. Fine. Thank you everyone. I hope that you have understood this chapter.